Old man, come out here.
I'm coming. What are you up to, my king?
Will you hurry?
I'm coming as fast as I can. Old age is sleepless and keep my eyes open.
What star is that crossing the sky?
That's Sirius, shooting across midway in the sky near the seven Pleiades.
There is no sound of birds, no sound of the sea. The winds are hushed throughout the strait.
Why are you so agitated, my king? Pacing outside the lodge. It's still quiet here in Aulis, and the sentinels on the ramparts are undisturbed. Let's go inside.
I envy you. I envy any man who passes through life free of peril, unsung, anonymous. For those in high office, I feel no envy.
And yet that is where the good life is found.
Ah, yes, but the good life is treacherous. And sweet though it is, high status brings grief to those who reach it.
This is not the kind of thing I admire in a leader. Agamemnon. Atreus did not father you just for the good times. You need to take the good with the bad. You are born human. Even if you don't like it, the will of the gods shall be done. You have lit a lamp and are writing a letter, which you still hold clenched in your hands. You go back and erase the same letters. And you seal it, then open it again. You throw the letter on the ground, and you are close to the diminished capacity we see in madmen. What is the problem? My king, what is wrong? Come now, share your story with me. You'll be talking to a good man who is loyal to you.
I wrote to my wife, telling her to send my daughter with the promise that she was to be married to Achilles when her time comes. I built up the man's stature and importance. I claimed he was not willing to sail with the Greeks unless a wife from our family should go to his home in Thea. This is the inducement I held out to my wife to get the girl to come by concocting a bogus wedding one day. We are the only ones of the Greeks that know about this. Take this letter, which you saw me just now writing, to Argos. What is hidden inside its folded boards I will spell out for you. Daughter of Leda, I am sending you a second message to tell you.
Explain this more clearly so I can repeat things that will match what you wrote.
Not to send our daughter to waveless Aulis. At another season, we will feast our daughter's future wedding.
But won't Achilles get angry at you and your wife if he's deprived of this marriage? This makes me queasy. Explain what you mean.
Achilles is supplying us with his name, not the fact. He doesn't know a thing about the future marriage or what we are up to. He has no idea I promised to give my daughter to him as his bride when she grows up.
My king, you have done something awful. You have been promising your daughter as a future wife to the goddess's son, but you are actually bringing her as a sacrifice for the Greeks.
Oh, God, I was out of my mind. I'm on the brink of ruin. Come, get a move on. Don't give in to old age.
I'm hurrying, Your Majesty.
See to it that you do not sit down to rest in the woods or give in to sleep.
Don't even suggest such a thing.
Keep your eyes open in all directions.
I'll do that.
Outside the gates, if you meet her with the entourage, drive them back. Preserve the seal on the letter that you are carrying. Go on, the brightening dawn is already growing light, and with it comes the fire of the sun. Help me in my troubles. Go! No human is well off or happy to the end. No one was born without grief.
I have come to the sands along the coast of Aulis by the sea. I crossed the narrow stream of Euripus and left behind Chalcis, my native city, to see the army of the Achaeans and the sea-going oars of Achaean heroes. My husband tells me with 1,000 ships they will be led by Menelaus and Agamemnon.
Achilles, swift as the wind, his agile feet flashing, son of Thetis, reared by Chiron. I saw him too along the seashore.
Then we were counting the ships. There were the Myrmidon troops from Thea with 50 ships.
Near them, an equal number of Argive ships were lined up, and over these Theseus' son commanded 60 Athenian ships. He had the goddess Athena set on a winged chariot with solid-hoofed horses, which is a good omen to seafarers.
There was the naval force of Boeotia, 50 vessels decked out in emblems on the beaks of the ships.
From Cyclops-built Mycenae, the son of Atreus had gathered sailors in 100 ships.
From Pylos, I saw the ships of Nestor the Durranian.
A 12-ship force commanded by their king.
Ajax, born in Salamis, joined the right horn to the left, nearest to which he was moored with his ship's last. 12 agile vessels.
Menelaus, what you are trying to do is criminal. You must not do it.
Get away. You are too loyal to your master.
I take that as a great compliment.
You'll be sorry if you do what you should not.
You have no right to open the letter I was carrying.
And you have no right to bring ruin on all the Greeks.
Take your letter. Take your case somewhere else. Let go of the letter.
I will not.
Neither will I.
I'll kill you.
It would be an honor to die for my masters.
For a slave, you talk too much.
Master, I am wrong. This man has snatched your letter from my hand by force. Agamemnon, he has no sense of right and wrong.
What is this ruckus at my door?
My word has no more authority than his.
Why do you fight with him and resort to trouble?
Look at me, so that I can set out my argument.
I'm Atreus' son. Why should I be afraid to face you?
See this letter? A harbinger of disaster.
I see it. Release it from your hand at once.
No, not until I show all the Greeks what it contains.
Did you dare open the letter? Did you see what you should not?
Yes, to gall you, I have unsealed your secret.
Where did you intercept it?
Where I was waiting for your daughter to see when she would come from Argos to the camp.
Why are you meddling in my affairs?
I had the urge to do it. I'm not your slave.
Isn't this awful? Am I not to manage my own household?
Your mind is mercurial. One thing today, yesterday another. Something else tomorrow?
You talk a good game, but a clever tongue is detestable.
Yes, and an unsteady mind is deceitful and unjust towards friends. I'm going to confront you with the truth. Don't you remember when you were on fire to be leader of the Danaan forces against Troy? You pretended not to care, but you wanted it all right. How humble you were, shaking hands with everyone, keeping your doors open to whoever wanted to come in, and giving ear to all, even if they had nothing to say. That's how you tried to bribe your way into office. Then, when you reached your goal, you changed. Then, when you came to Aulis, you and the Pan-Hellenic army, you were nothing. You were driven wild by your God-sent luck, held up without a sailing wind. The Greeks were clamoring to release the ships and not endure the hardship at Aulis for nothing. You were downcast, miserable, because you would not be commander of 1,000 ships and bring war to Troy. And now you've shifted, and I've caught you altering your letter, claiming that you will not be your daughter's murderer. Fine, but you know this is the same air that heard your words then. It is unhappy Greece I am most sorry for. We had the chance to do something memorable, and now all because of you and your daughter, we will let those worthless barbarians laugh at us. I would never appoint a national leader or company commander for his bravado. Intelligence is what a general must have.
You are my brother. I can be frank about your faults, but in perspective and without insolence. A good man always shows respect to others. Tell me, why are you red in the face with rage? Who wrongs you? What do you need? You want a good wife? I have none to give you. The one you had, you managed badly. Should I, who did not slip up, pay for your troubles? The mind of God works knowingly and understands how a person can be entrapped into swearing an oath. In any case, I will not kill my child. Your cause will not prosper at my expense, so you can get back to the world's worst wife, while my nights and days will wear me away in tears for acting against custom and right toward the children I fathered. That, in brief, is what I have to say, clear and easy to understand. If you will not be reasonable, I will still control my own affairs.
I have no friends.
Yes, you do, except when you try to ruin them.
Will you show that you come from the same father as I?
I am happy to share insane action with you, not to be sick with you.
Friends must share with friends in their suffering.
Ask my help when doing right, not when hurting me.
Do you intend to remove your support from the Greek cause?
Greece, like you, is plagued with a sickness from the gods.
Hail, King of all Greeks. I've come to bring you your daughter, the one you call Iphigenia, in your home. Her mother has come along, your honorable wife, Clytemnestra. They and their mares are refreshing their tender feet beside a fresh spring. We let the horses loose to graze in the grassy meadow. I have come ahead to prepare you for their arrival. The army knows all about it. A swift report passed through their lips that your daughter is in the camp. The whole throng came running to see the girl. Everybody admires and celebrates the well-to-do. They are wondering, is it a wedding or what is going on? Did King Agamemnon miss his daughter and bring her here? This is what you would have heard from others. Are they initiating the girl to Artemis, Queen of Aulis? Is she to be promised as a bride? Come then, let us begin the rites for the wedding. Crown your head, and you, King Menelaus, get ready to sing the wedding song. All through the house, let's hear pipes playing and the rhythm of dancing feet. This day will bring great happiness to your daughter.
Go inside the house. Whatever comes next, it will be well. I have slipped into necessity's noose. Fate has outsmarted me, proving to be cleverer by far than my poor schemes. Low birth would be an advantage. They can weep and say what they want, but the highborn must stifle their feelings. We use pride to guide our lives, but we are slaves to the masses. I have come into the greatest tragedy of my life. What will I say to my wife? How will I welcome her? It's Hades that soon will take my daughter as his bride.
Brother, give me your right hand to hold.
Here it is. You win. I give in.
By Pelops, my father's father and yours, and by Atreus, our father, I swear that I will speak straight from the heart, nothing contrived, but just what I feel. When I saw the tears welling up in your eyes, I felt pity and shed tears for you in my turn. I recant my earlier words and no longer feel hostile toward you. I am where you are now. I don't want the sacrifice. I won't put my interest first. It's not right for you to grieve and me to be happy, for your child to die and mine to live. What does your daughter have to do with Helen? Let the army be disbanded and leave all this.
I did not think it possible, but you have laid out an argument worthy of you. Strife between brothers comes about through resentment and greed for a greater share. Such a kinship is bitter to both sides, and I despise it. But we have come to a twist of fate that makes it inevitable to carry out the bloody murder of my daughter.
Who will compel you to kill your child?
The whole assembled forces of the Greek army.
Not if you send them back to Argos.
I might escape here, but back there I haven't a chance.
Why? One should not be in such dread of the mob.
Calchas will proclaim his oracles to the whole army.
Not if you kill him first.
Prophets, as a profession, are spiteful and ambitious.
Good for nothing and worthless wherever they are.
Something occurred to me. Aren't you worried?
How can I answer you until you tell me what it is?
Sisyphus' spawn knows all about this.
There is no way Odysseus can hurt the two of us.
He has a versatile mind, and the crowd is with him.
He is possessed by ambition.
Don't you suppose he will stand up in their midst and reveal the oracles Calchas proclaimed? How I undertook to carry out the sacrifice and then reneged? Will he not now seize control of the army and order the Argives to kill me and sacrifice the girl? Even if I flee to Argos, they will come to the very Cyclopean walls, occupy the city, and devastate the land. Take care of one thing, Menelaus. Go through the army and see that Clytemnestra does not find out about this until I take the child and dispatch her to Hades. That way I can suffer the worst with the least tears possible.
Happy are they who enter the marriage bed with virtue and modest love, feeling the stillness without the raging passions to which golden-haired Eros stretches a double bow of desire, one for a happy fate, one for life's ruin. I shut it out of my chamber, fairest Aphrodite. May my love be moderate, my desires pure. May I share in Aphrodite's favor, but fend off her excesses.
Different are the natures of men. Different are their ways. But the straight course is always clear. Upbringing that is trained tends strongly to goodness. To feel respect is wisdom and holds a transforming grace by intelligence to look into one's duty where repute never brings glory to life that grows old.
Iphigenia, wait here. Show these women what a fortunate woman I am with you by my side. Speak to your dear father. My great pride, Agamemnon, we are here, obedient to your command.
I want to see your face. Don't be angry with me.
Oh, of course, my dear. It is only right. Of all my children, you have always been the one who loves your father most.
Oh, Father, I'm happy to see after so long.
And I you. We are both of the same mind about that.
Cheer up. It was a good idea to bring me to your father.
I don't know what to say, whether to agree or not.
Oh, you look confused. A minute ago, you were glad to see me.
As king and commander, I have a great many concerns.
Be with me. Now put aside your worries.
I am all yours.
Don't scowl so. Turn your face and look at me lovingly.
I'm as happy as I can be, seeing you, dear.
But there are tears welling up in your eyes.
We will be apart for a very long time. When you make sense, you make me sadder.
Then I'll make nonsense if that'll cheer you up.
Oh, God, I cannot bear to hold back. You're a good girl.
This war, the Menelaus woes, I wish they would all go away.
Others will go first, just as must go away soon.
You have been away a long time here in the Bay of Aulis.
Even now we are prevented from deploying.
Where is it that these Phrygians live, Father?
Where Paris is from, and I wish to God he'd never been born.
You're going far away, Father, and you leave me.
Your plight is the same as your father's.
Oh, if there was only some way I could sail with you.
You are going on a trip too. You will forget your father there.
Will I go alone or with Mom?
All alone, without your father and mother.
Are you sending me to live in another home?
Girls should not hear these things.
Hurry back from Troy, Father, after you fix things there.
There is a sacrifice I have to make here first.
Religious ceremonies, aren't they the priest's business?
You will be there. You will stand by the holy water.
Will we stand by an altar in the chorus, Father?
I envy you for not knowing all that I know. Go inside. Girls should keep out of sight. Go on inside. I ask your pardon if I have shown too much feeling on the eve of giving my daughter to Achilles. The girl's departure is a happy occasion, but still it grieves parents when, after all their toil, they send their children to another man's home one day.
I am not so insensitive. You should realize that I feel just the same, so I can't scold you when I vow our daughter for marriage. But in time, custom will diminish our sense of loss. I know the name of the man to whom you've promised our daughter, but I would like to know more about his family.
It starts with Aesopus, who had a daughter, Aegina.
Was her husband one of the gods or a mortal?
By Zeus, she gave birth to Aeacus, headman of Oenone.
What son of Aeacus came to inherit his home?
Peleus, who married Thetis, daughter of Nereus.
With the god's blessing, or did he take her by force?
Zeus, as her guardian, betrothed and gave her in marriage.
Where did they marry? Beneath the sea's surge?
Where Chiron lives, in the sacred dells of Pelion.
Oh, where the race of centaurs is said to dwell.
Yes, the gods held the wedding feast of Peleus there.
Did Titus or his father bring up Achilles?
Chiron raised him so he would not learn the wicked ways of men.
Oh, a wise teacher, and even wiser those who engaged him.
This is the man who one day will be your daughter's husband.
Not to be ashamed of. What Greek city does he live in?
Near the river Apidanus in Phaean territory.
Will he take my daughter to live there?
Well, that will be his decision once they are married one day.
Oh, may the gods bless them.
You know, wife, what you should do.
What is it? It is my custom always to listen to you.
It is our job, here where the future husband is.
What do you intend? To usurp my place as mother?
To give away your child in the presence of the Danaans.
Where am I supposed to be at this time?
Go home to Argos and tend to your other daughters.
And leave my child? This is not our custom. It should not be treated so lightly.
It is not proper for you to mingle with this mob.
It is proper that as her mother, I decide on my daughter's future husband.
It is proper that your girls not be left alone at home.
Oh, they are well protected, guarded in their chambers.
Obey me.
No. In the name of the goddess, Queen of Argos, you go. Inside, it is my job to tend to whatever is fitting for a young woman who intends to get married one day.
A wise man should keep in his home a useful and good wife, or not keep one at all.
Where's the commander of the Achaeans? Will one of you servants tell him that Peleus' son Achilles is looking for him? Listen to me. Not all of us linger here equally. On the banks of Euripus, some of us, not yet married, have left our homes empty to come here and sit idle on the beach. Others, though married, are childless. Some god has sent a fierce passion for military adventure to afflict the Greeks. Like anyone else who speaks for himself, I have the right to voice my grievance. After leaving the land of Pharsalus and Peleus, I tarry here because of the light breezes of Euripus, trying to restrain my myrmidons. They keep pressing me. Achilles, what are we waiting for? How long a time must we fritter away before the fleets head for Troy? Do something if you're going to, or lead the army home. Stop putting up with the delays.
I heard what you had to say, and I have come out to meet you. No wonder you don't recognize me. We have never met before. I appreciate your respect for modesty.
But who are you? Why have you come into the Greek army, a woman surrounded by armed and dangerous men?
Oh, I am Leda's daughter. Clytemnestra is my name. King Agamemnon is my husband.
All your words are well said and to the point, but I'm not used to conversing with women.
Wait, don't run off. Join your right hand in mine as a blessing to begin the marriage.
What are you saying? Take your hand? I would shame Agamemnon if I were to touch another man's woman.
Oh, of course you may. You are going to marry my daughter one day.
What marriage are you talking about? Madam, I'm at a loss for words. You must be deluded.
This happens to everyone. You feel awkward with new in-laws when your marriage is brought up.
Madam, I never courted your daughter. No word about a future marriage has come to me from Atreus' sons.
What can it mean? You may well wonder at my words once again. Yours are quite bewildering to me too.
In a situation like this, a person can only make a guess. Perhaps we have both been a victim of deception.
Am I the victim of abuse? I have been soliciting a marriage that does not exist. Oh, I am so embarrassed.
Someone must be playing tricks on the two of us. But don't pay it in mind. Make nothing of it.
Goodbye. I can never look you in the face again now that I am turned into a liar and put to shame.
I have the same to say to you, but it's your husband. I have come here looking for your husband.
Stranger, wait. Grandson of Iacchus, I mean you, son of the goddess. You too, daughter of Leda.
Who are you?
I'm a slave. My fortune doesn't let me be delicate about it.
Not mine. What's mine and what's Agamemnon's are different.
I'm from her house. Her father, Tyndareus, gave me to her.
Well, we're waiting. Tell us why you're holding us back.
Are you two the only ones out there in front of the door?
Yes, it's just us. No need for you to hover inside.
I pray that luck and foresight come to your aid.
What you say sounds ominous to our future.
Please, do not delay if you have something to tell me.
You know me. I am loyal to you and your children.
Yes, I know you. You are an old slave of my home.
And King Agamemnon took me as part of your dowry.
You came to Argos with me and were always mine.
That is so. I am loyal to you, but less so to your husband.
Disclose now whatever it is you have to tell us.
Your daughter. Her father is planning to kill her.
What? Old man, I don't believe you. It can't be right.
He plans to cut the poor girl's pale throat with a sword.
It can't be. Has my husband gone mad?
Yes, though he is sane enough, except toward you and the girl.
What is his reason? What demon of revenge is driving him to it?
Oracles. At least the seer Chalcis says so. To let the army go forward. Yes, to the Trojan city. So Menelaus can get Helen back.
Iphigenia's life is the price for the return of Helen.
That is it. Her father is going to sacrifice her to Artemis.
But what about the marriage he used to lure me from home?
That was so you'll be glad to bring her as Achilles' bride. You both suffer pitifully. Agamemnon has done something awful.
I'm devastated. I can no longer hold back my tears.
To lose a child is tragic. You have reason to weep.
But old man, how is it that you come to learn these things?
I was sent to carry a letter about what had been written before.
Forbidding or ordering me to bring the child to be killed?
Telling you not to bring her when your husband was in his right mind.
How did it happen that you did not give me the letter?
Menelaus, the cause of all our woes, tore the letter from my hands.
In the name of your mother and father, do you hear this?
I do hear your troubles and I'm upset in my part in them.
They will kill my child after tricking her with marriage to you.
Your husband is to blame and I cannot swallow this lightly.
Modesty will not keep me from falling at your knees, a mortal before a goddess's son. What pride do I have left? Who do I have to care for more than my own child? And now I am leading her to slaughter. It will be your shame if you do not help. I beg you, your name, instead of bringing the support to us, has ruined me. There is no friend who smiles on me. You hear what cruel and vile things Agamemnon does. I have come, you see, a woman to the military camp, into an unruly mob, ready for mischief, but effective to help if they want. If you dare to raise your hand to protect us, we can be saved. But if not, we are surely lost.
To give birth is terrifying. Still, it has a powerful pull. All mortals share in toiling tirelessly for their children.
Spirit rises up with indignation, though it knows how to restrain itself in disaster, and in prosperity to moderate its exaltation. Among mortal men like this have figured out how to pass their lives with principle and good sense. There is a time when it is pleasant not to reason too much, and another when it is useful to have understanding. Reared in the home of Chiron, a most respectful man, I have learned to have uncomplacent ways. Thousands of girls are pursuing me for marriage. Not that, but King Agamemnon has insulted me. He should have asked me for the use of my name. For his bait for the girl, Clytemnestra would have been persuaded to give her daughter to me.
What you have said, son of Peleus, is worthy of you, and of your mother, the sea goddess, revered divinity.
What words can I use to praise you without excess, and still not lose your favor to a shortage of praise? When good people are praised, they often hate their praisers if they praise too much. I feel ashamed appealing to your pity when I am in distress, since my problems are not your concern. But, you know, a good man, even if he is unaffected by their ills, appears noble helping the unfortunate.
Do not bring your child into my sight, madam. We must avoid reproach from the ignorant. I have given my word. You can be sure that I tell you no lies. If I speak falsely and my words prove vain, let me die. But not if I can save the girl.
Oh, God bless you for helping the unfortunate.
Listen now, so the affair will come to a good end.
No need to tell me. I have no one but you.
Let's first try to persuade her father to think better of it.
He's a coward and lives in fear of the army.
Words can sometimes wrestle weaker words and defeat them.
My hope grows cold. But tell me what I must do.
First, beseech him not to kill the girl. If he resists, then you must come to me. If he agrees to do what you desire, then there is no need for my intervention. That will bring you safety, and I will stand in better stead with my friends, and the army will not blame me if I act with reason rather than brute force. If things work out well, all the better for my allies and for you, even if there is no need for my support.
What you say makes sense. It must be done your way. However, if we do not succeed as we hope, where will we see you again?
We will keep a lookout for you just in case there is a need, so no one will see you in a frenzy rushing through a mob of Greek men.
Yes, I'll do that. I'm yours to command. I must be your slave. You're a good man, and if gods exist, fortune will favor you. But if not, what's the point?
You, girl, the Argives will crown your beautiful hair like a spotted heifer, coming unblemished from the rocky caves in the mountains, making your mortal throat stream blood.
I've come here to look for my husband, who has been away for a long time. My poor girl is crying ever since she learned that her father is planning to kill her.
It's a good thing I find you outside the house so I can speak to you without our daughter hearing things a girl should not hear.
What is it that makes it so convenient to you?
I want you to send the child out with her father. The lustful waters are prepared with the sacrificial grain to throw into the cleansing flame.
Your words sound fine, but what are you doing? I do not know how I could say you speak well. Come outside, my daughter. You know what your father intends to do.
Why are you crying, dear? Aren't you glad to see me anymore? Why are you downcast now? Why hide your face in your robe?
Where should I start my list of woes? I could put them all in first place, and then last, and anywhere in the middle too.
What is it? Why are you both so upset? I can see it in your troubled expressions.
Answer me honestly, husband, whatever I ask.
No need to ask that. I'm ready to be questioned.
Are you planning to kill your daughter, our daughter?
Ugly talk. You have a suspicious mind.
No more evasions. First, answer what I asked.
If you ask reasonable questions, I'll answer reasonably.
I have nothing else to ask. Don't you evade the question.
Fate rules our lives. My luck has turned sour.
Mine and hers too. We all three are unlucky.
Have I done anything that has wronged you?
You asked me that. You have no feelings. I know everything. I have found out what you are planning to do to us. Your silence and your self-pity are your confession. Don't bother to say any more.
Here then, I'm silent. Why tell any more lies and add brazen arrogance to my misery?
Listen, against my will, you married me, took me by force after killing Tantalus, my former husband, and tearing my infant son from my breast. You smashed him on the floor with violent hands, and the sons of Zeus, my two brothers. Tyndareus, my aged father, saved you when you came as suppliant and took me to your bed. It's a rare catch for a man to get a wife like me, though there's no shortage of worthless women. I bore you the son, besides our 3 daughters, and now you are about to rob me of one of them. If anyone asks you, are you going to kill her? What will you say? Must I answer for you? To recover Helen from Menelaus, a fair price you will pay in trading your child for an evil woman. We will buy what is most loathed for the life of our dear girl. When you come home to Argos, will you embrace your children one by one? That would be wrong. Will any of your children even look at you when you have killed one of them? Did you reason it and come to this conclusion, or are only your position and command mean anything to you? You should have argued logically with the Argives. Achaeans, do you wish to sail to Phrygian land? Leave it to chance. Cast lots to see whose daughter must die. That would be fair, but not to offer your own daughter as the victim for the Greeks chosen by her own father. I have preserved intact my marriage to you and will be deprived of my daughter, but she who transgressed will take her daughter back to Sparta and have a happy life there. Answer me this if I have gotten any of it wrong, but if my words ring true, do not kill our daughter.
Listen to her! It is good to have a part in saving the child, Agamemnon. There's no one who would contradict this.
If I could charm anyone I wish with my words, then I would resort to that. But now I will offer only my tears. Do not kill me before my time. I was the first to call you father, you to call me child. I first sat on your knees and we exchanged sweet gestures of affection. Do not kill me by Pelops and by your father Atreus, I beg you, and by my mother here. Do not kill me. What have I to do with the marriage of Paris and Helen? Look at me. Give me just a glance and a kiss, so I'll have this memory of you and I die, if you will not be convinced by my words. Respect me and take pity on my short life. The sunlight here is sweetest for men to see. All that comes after is nothing. It is mad to pray for death. To live badly is better than to die honorably.
Wretched Helen, because of you and your marriage, a great struggle looms for Atreus' sons and their children.
I am aware of what is to be pitied and what is not. And I do love my child. I am not a madman. It is terrible for me to do these things, woman, and terrible not to. Yet still, I must do it. You see the size of this seafaring army. How many Greek commanders who will be unable to cross to Troy's stronghold if I do not sacrifice you as the seer ordains. I must sacrifice you. Greece must be free, as far as in you lies and in me. As Greeks, we must not let our women be plundered from their homes by force of foreign arms.
My child, and you, stranger woman, oh me for my grief at your death. Your father is gone. He has abandoned you to die.
No more the rays of sunlight. If only Paris the herder, raised among the cattle, had never lived.
Artemis has taken you as a first blood sacrifice for Troy.
But he who fathered me, his unhappy child. Mother, Mother, he is gone. He has left me all alone. Oh, my sad fate, I have seen the bitter, bitter distress of Helen. I am murdered, I am slain by a godless sacrifice for a godless father. How I wish Aulis had not burnt the prows of these ships.
I pity you for a doom you were never meant to meet.
Unhappy woman, daughter of Leda,
That name fits my fate.
terrible outcries are heard among the Achaeans
What is it? Tell me.
about your daughter,
Oh, what you say makes me shudder.
that she must be sacrificed.
To know and speak against it.
Yes, and I got myself in trouble for it,
What trouble, stranger?
being stoned to death.
Trying to save my daughter.
Yes, that was the reason.
Who would lay hands on you?
All the Greeks,
The army of Myrmidons. Were they on your side?
they were the first to turn ugly.
My dear child, we are rude.
They called me a slave to my marriage,
What did you say to that?
that they must not kill my future bride,
As was right.
promised to me by her father,
Bless you for your good intentions. Then my child will not be killed.
not with my consent.
Will someone come to lay hands on her?
10,000, with Odysseus in the lead,
The son of Sisyphus.
the very same.
On his own, or is he following orders?
He has his orders, but he's glad to do it.
A cruel choice to stain his hands with blood.
I will hold him back.
Will he seize her and take her against her will?
Yes.
What must I do then?
Hold on to your daughter.
That will keep her from being killed.
It will come to this.
Mother, listen to me. You are angry at your husband, but what is the use? There is no way we can fight the inevitable. We are grateful to the stranger for his desire to help, but we cannot let him be slandered by the army. You must see this. We gain nothing while he meets an unhappy end. Listen to what came into my mind as I thought it over. It is decreed that I am to die, and I want to do this nobly and put out of my mind all that is base. All Greece with all its might now looks up to me. We will not allow barbarians to harm us anymore, nor steal them from our fertile lands. All this I will redeem by dying, and my glory will be blessed, since I will make Greece free. This man must not go into battle with all the Greeks and face death for one woman's sake. If the goddess Artemis is determined to take my body, who am I to oppose her? I give my body freely to Greece. It is right for Greeks to rule barbarians, Mother, not for barbarians to rule Greeks.
Your words are noble, dear girl, but fate and the goddess share the same sickness.
You have said things worthy of your country, and said them eloquently. Fighting against the god would only defeat you by yielding. You have made virtue of necessity.
I say these things because I have no more fear. It is enough that Helen will cause battles and deaths of men. You, stranger, do not die for me. Do not kill anyone for me. Allow me, if it lies in my power, to save Greece.
Your mind is noble. A truer word I cannot say.
Mother, why are your eyes moist with tears?
As a grieving mother, I have cause to be pained at heart. I do not want to cause you grief, my child.
I hope you will not cut your hair in grief, nor put on black clothes in mourning.
Why not, my child? When I have lost you,
I shall be saved, and through me you will have glory.
what do you mean? Am I not to mourn your life?
No, since no monument will be raised for me.
Why not? If you are dead, a monument is customary.
The altar of the goddess. Zeus's daughter will be my memorial.
My child, what you say is brave, and I believe you.
How lucky I am to be the benefactress of Greece. Do not hate my father, your husband.
he will have an agonizing struggle to face.
It is against his will that you will kill me.
I will go with you.
No, not you. That is not a good idea.
And hold on to your robes.
Stay here. It is better this way for me, for you too. I want father's attendants to escort me into the meadow of Artemis, where I will be sacrificed.
Wait, stop, don't leave me.
I will not let you shed tears. Young women, celebrate the goddess Artemis, daughter of Zeus, in a hymn for my passing. Let the solemn blessing go out among the Greeks. Goodbye, and anchorage of Aulis, Earth Mother, ancient Argos, and my Mycenaean home.
You call on the fortress of Perseus, labor of Cyclopean hands?
You reared me to be the life for Hellas. I do not refuse to die.
Your glory will not leave you.
Farewell, dear light.
Let us celebrate Artemis, queen of gods, as for a happy fate. O holy, holy goddess, happy in human sacrifice, conduct the army of the Hellenes into the Phrygians' land and to the treacherous Trojans, and grant that Agamemnon may put upon his head a most glorious crown for Greece. Glory, never to be forgotten.
Clytemnestra! Clytemnestra! Come out and hear me!
Are you here to bring me another new tragedy on top of the one that I have already suffered?
About your daughter. I want to tell you strange and marvelous things.
Do not delay, but tell them as fast as you can.
My dear mistress, you will have a clear account from everything from beginning to end, unless my memory fails me and my tongue garbles my story. When Agamemnon, our king, saw his daughter walking into the grove for slaughter, he cried aloud and turned his face away and wept, covering his face with his cloak, and she, standing next to her father, said, "Father, I am here for you." Talthybius, standing in the midst, that was his job, called for respectful silence from the army. Then onto a gold-studded tray, Calchas the seer placed a sharp knife that he had drawn out of its case, and he crowned the girl's head. The son of Peleus, taking the tray, sprinkled the holy waters in a circle around the altar. And he said, "Daughter of Zeus, animal killer, spinning your bright light in the nighttime, receive this sacrifice we offer you, and the army of the Greeks and King Agamemnon, unstained blood from a virgin's throat, and grant that sailing of the ships be safe, and that we take the Trojans' land." The priest, taking up the knife, looked at her throat from the place to strike. Wave upon wave came into my heart. I stood with my head down. Then something amazing happened. And no one could see where in the world she had gone, but the priest cried out, and the whole army reverberated. Then Calchas said, "Lords of the united Greek army, do you see this sacrifice that the goddess has placed on the altar? A mountain roaming hind? She very much prefers this to the girl's life, so that her altar will not be polluted with noble blood. The goddess has gladly received this and grants us a fair sailing and incursion into Troy. Every sailor then take courage from this in the deep recesses of the ships of Aulis and cross over the Aegean Sea. Agamemnon sent me here to tell you this and to inform you of the fate she has from the gods."
How happy I am to have heard the messenger. He says your child is alive and lives among the gods.
My child, by which of the gods were you stolen? How do I address you? How can I be sure that these words are not a vain consolation for me to give up my mourning to for you?
Woman, we should be happy for our daughter. She really is in the company of the gods. You must go home. The army is preparing to sail. Farewell. It will be a long time before I see you when I come home from Troy. May all go well for you.
Son of Atreus, go rejoicing to the Phrygian land, and return rejoicing with the finest spoils from Troy.